Welcome to the Wisdom That Breathes channel. Across all our platforms, we try to share wisdom which is relevant and accessible to everyone. But on this particular platform, we go deeper into some of the ancient principles found within the scriptures. If you find some of the terminology difficult or inaccessible, then go over to our Keshava Swami YouTube channel where you'll be able to find other content which is perhaps more relatable. Thank you and enjoy the wisdom that breathes.
Thank you so much, everyone. It's wonderful to be here. We'd just like to actually thank Raj Prabhu for that amazing video. Give him a round of applause. He can make anything look amazing, but it was actually amazing as well. So then it just went to another level. I just want to also clarify, someone watched that video and then they came to me and they said, it looks like you guys were just diving around for the whole 4 days. We weren't doing that all week. So I think there's a disproportionate amount of that in the video. But there were serious moments as well, deep moments. So we're really happy to be here. Isn't it wonderful to just be together in the morning? It's just such a gift of Srila Prabhupada, the morning program. And Vaishnav was mentioning that so many of you have come from different places. And I was mentioning this actually, that last week I was in the morning program and someone was there for the first time. So, it's always wonderful to see someone come to the morning program for the first time. So I went up to them. And I was pretty impressed, and then I just asked them, I said, where are you from? And they said, I'm from Wembley. Then I was even more impressed. That's it, you don't need to say any more. Wembley is the capital of the UK. So I was already impressed, and then I was more impressed, and then I was even more impressed because they said, I left home at midnight to get here. This person walked all the way from Wembley for 3.5 hours to get to Mangalarti. It was pretty impressive, and I said, wow, 3.5 hours you walked to come here in the morning? And this person said, yes, to associate with saintly people and to have the darshan of Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda is worth every step. So next Maha Morning program, we'll be doing a parikrama from Wembley. If anyone's interested, this devotee will be heading it up. But it is amazing. Rupa Goswami mentions in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that there are 64 items of devotional service. And the amazing thing is, when you look through those 64 items of devotional service, just by coming to the morning program, I think you do between 45 and 50 of them, just in the first 4 hours of the day. So it's such a wonderful gift of Srila Prabhupada to come here. The manor is open every day. And please make it a point to come in the mornings. It's amazing. By the time it's 9 o'clock, you've already done so many things in your life. It's like, maybe I should go back to sleep now. Don't go back to sleep. But it's already, the day is so glorious when we begin it in this way. So yeah, please take advantage. The Manor Morning program is very, very unique actually. It's very, very sweet. I travel around the world, and doing the morning program at the Manor is always very, very special, very intimate with Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda. So please take advantage. And the real purpose of the morning program is that the idea is that when we wake up in the morning, the first thing that we're remembering is, I have nothing to do with this world, actually. The first thing we're doing when we wake up in the morning is we're remembering I'm meant for another world, a world with the divine couple, with Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda in the spiritual world. And so we begin the day with that meditation, and then we go through our daily activities in the world, but we remind ourselves, don't take the illusion too seriously. It's okay. It's all right. There are things go on in life, but it's okay. We're part of a bigger reality beyond this. So we're going to begin our class today with singing of Jaya Radha Madhav, which Srila Prabhupada gave us before every class as an orientation on the eternal world. So we'd like to ask His Grace Radhika Ranjan Prabhu, Radhika Ranjan Prabhu and his incredible team. They have such a team of amazing kirtaniers, and with such devotion and dedication, all of them, they're traveling the world and they're introducing so many people to the holy name of Krishna. This is a fruition of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire. Prithivithayachayata nagaradigram sarvatra prachara hoi bemaranam. That one day my name will be chanted in all the cities and towns and villages, even Wembley, of the world. And the devotees are working so diligently and devotionally to do this. So thank you so much.
Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Jai Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ramjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda. Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalan Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande. So Hare Krishna everyone. So this morning we're reading from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, reading from the Madhya Leela. Today we're reading from chapter number 13, text number 186 to 187. Is it there? Is it 186 up there? Okay. I'll read 186 by myself and then all of you can follow for the next verse. Prabhura vachane rajar mane hoye le bhaya sarvabhauma kahe tumi na kara shamshaya. Translation. King Prataparudra became frightened when Lord Chaitanya showed external anger. But Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya told the king, don't worry. So, please repeat after me. Toma rupare Prabhu suprashanaman. Okay. Toma rupare Prabhu suprashanaman. Toma laksha kori shikhayen nijagan. Toma laksha kari shikhayen nijagan. Toma rupare prabhur suprashanaman. Toma rupare prabhur suprashanaman. Toma laksha kori shikhayen nijagan. Toma laksha kari shikhayen nijagan. Toma rupare prabhur suprashanaman. Toma laksha kari shikhayen nijagan. So just in the interest of time, I'll just read the word for word translation and purport. And then, because we only have half an hour left. Tomarupare, upon you, Prabhura of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Suprasana, very satisfied, Mana, the mind, Toma, you, Lakshakari, pointing out, Sikayena, he teaches Nijagan, his personal associates. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. So just to contextualize the verse, the Madhya Leela of the Chaitanya Charitamrita contains stories of incredible Vaishnavas. And one of those incredible Vaishnavas is King Patraparudra. He's a king, he's influential, he's wealthy, he has all kinds of power. Yet he realizes when he sees Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that Mahaprabhu is the Lord of my life. Somehow or other I have to see him, somehow or other I have to get close to him, somehow or other I have to receive his mercy. And so King Patraparudra puts many petitions. His mind becomes enchanted. When he sees the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he sees Mahaprabhu dancing, he's flabbergasted. He's so attracted. And he looks at Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and he says, who are these people and what are these people doing? And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya replies, Bhattacharya kohe e madhura vachan chaitanyera shrishti e prema sankirtan. So these Bhattacharya kohe, the Bhattacharya told him, madhura vachan, what you're hearing is a very sweet sound. These are the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And you're asking, what are they doing? Chaitanya Shrishti. They are doing the special thing that Mahaprabhu has come here to give. Prem Sankirtan. They're chanting the holy names of Krishna in great love. And therefore, definitely you will become attracted. So Patraparudra says to the devotees, I need to see him. I need to see Mahaprabhu. But Mahaprabhu will not see a king, not see an influential person, not see someone who's engaged in worldly activities. Niskinjanasya bhagavad bhajanan mukhasya param param jigamisor bhavasagarasya. It's explained that anyone wanting to be spiritual, they have to be very careful about associating with those who are entangled in the affairs of the world, lest they may also become entangled. And so the devotees come back to Patraparudra and they say, won't be possible. No can do. The Lord will not see you. And then Patraparudra looks at the devotees. Jadi se Mahaprabhur napai kripadhan kiba raja kiba deha sabaya karan. He says, Jadi se Mahaprabhur napai kripadhan. If I don't get Mahaprabhu's kripa, Kiba Raja, what's the point of my kingship? Kiba Deha, what's the point of this body? Sabayakaran, all my money, my wealth, my position, my popularity, all of it is Sabayakaran, is completely meaningless. Someone may have so much power, popularity, position, but if they don't get the merciful glance of the Lord, it's all a useless waste of time. And so Patraparudra is crestfallen because he has so much, but he doesn't have the Lord. Patraparudra, in order to get Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's darshan, there are many pieces of what he does. The first thing is he has great desire. If someone has desire, Prabhupada once said, Krishna consciousness is the art of desiring. And therefore, if one has a strong desire, if it's burning within them, then definitely they will make significant advancement. So Patraparudra had that desire. But then what did he do? He took that desire in his heart and he took the direction of the devotees. This is the second piece in the puzzle that Patraparudra managed to put together. No one can become a great devotee without the guidance, help, and counseling of another great devotee. And therefore he combined desire with direction. He took direction. And then Patraparudra had another piece. Because when you have desire and you get direction and then you begin going on the journey, there will be obstacles. And therefore the third thing that Patraparudra had was determination. If a path doesn't have any obstacles, then it probably doesn't lead anywhere that exciting. And therefore he knew there will be obstacles, but he remained determined. But despite having desire, direction, and determination, Prataparudra was still falling short. But then Prataparudra did one thing, and this one thing was the final piece to the puzzle which softened the Lord's heart and made the Lord definitely appear before him. And that fourth thing was the disposition of humility. And that's what we're basically reading about today. That Prataparudra had desire, he had direction, he had determination. But when he showed the disposition of humility, then the Lord said, now I can't resist. I must come to you. So let us read the verse. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Translation. Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya informed the king, the Lord is very satisfied with you. By pointing you out, he was teaching his personal associates how to behave with mundane people. So accidentally the Lord touched Prataparudra in the Rath Yatra, and the Lord became very angry. But he was only feigning anger, because inside he was actually very happy with Prataparudra, because Prataparudra had become very humble. And what had Prataparudra done to become, to display his humility? That's what we're reading about. Purport. Although outwardly the king was a mundane man interested in money and women, internally he was purified by devotional activities. He showed this by engaging as a street sweeper to please Lord Jagannath. A person may appear to be a pounds and shilling man interested in money and women, but if he is actually very meek and humble and surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is not mundane. Such a judgment can be made only by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his very confidential devotees. As a general principle, however, no devotee should intimately mix with mundane people interested in money and women. So King Prataparudra was a great devotee and also a great person in the world. But the moment he came down onto the street and he took the humble position of sweeping the road in front of Lord Jagannath, then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's heart was softened. When the Lord sees dainya, when the Lord sees humility, then immediately the Lord is attracted. This is what we call the spiritual law of gravity. The material law of gravity means when you go up, definitely you will come down. And the spiritual law of gravity is that when you go low, when you become meek and humble, when you see yourself as insignificant, at that moment you become very, very big in the eyes of the Lord. In the world they have a saying, last but not least. But in spiritual life we can say, least is never last. Because that person who becomes, engenders this heartfelt humility, it softens the Lord's heart. We see this in so many pastimes. These are all eminent people who are so qualified, so influential, but at the same time so humble. Rupa and Sanatan, they come to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nicha jati, nicha sangi, patita adham, kuvishaya kupe padi, gonainu janam. In very heartfelt words, they display their insignificance. Nicha jati, we were born in a bad family. Nicha sangi, we grew up in the association of bad people. Patita dham, basically if you look at our life, there's not much good at all. It's all bad. Kuvishaye kupe padi gona inu janam. We've just fallen into the dark ditch of material life. Mahaprabhu hears their words of humility. And what does Mahaprabhu say? Aji hoite dunhar nam rupa sanatan dainya jati tainya tomar fate mo raman. Says from this day on, Aji hoite dunhar Rupa Sanatan, your names will be Rupa and Sanatan. I will smile on you, I will give you all my mercy, and I will empower you. But just one thing, Dainya Chadi, give up your humility. Because Fatemo Raman is just breaking my heart in a nice way. In a nice way, the humility of Rupa and Sanatan touched the Lord's heart. And therefore, if one wants to attract the attention of the Lord, one must engender a heart of humility. In the world today, there's so much pride. Recently, we were at the World Economic Forum and we were giving a seminar on leadership. And it's interesting because in those kind of settings, any influential people come in, and some influential people did come in. And it was interesting because we were talking all about leadership and humility. And so many people came up to us after and they said, we need to talk about humility because we're in that World Economic Forum and everyone there is so proud. And they were just appreciating so much that this humility is actually very, very beautiful. But what is actually humility? Because sometimes we may be confused. Am I humble? Am I not humble? How do I express my humility? How do I know if I actually have humility in my consciousness? So we can say in basic terms, humility means that deep embedded within one's heart are three mentalities. The first mentality of a humble person is, I am not the doer. The second mentality of a humble person is that I do not deserve. And the third mentality of a humble person is that I am a das. These are the three simple ways. Externally, someone may look like this or that. Externally, you may look at someone and say, wow, very humble. Or externally, you may look at someone and say, very proud. But that external display may not tell you much, but what really will tell you whether someone is humble or not is how much these three mentalities have become embedded into their very being. Number one, the humble person realizes, I am not the doer. Aham kara, kartaham iti manyate. The word ahamkara means ego. But etymologically in Sanskrit, what does it mean? Aham means me or I, and kara means the doer. In other words, one who has ego, pride, vanity, they have ahankar, they have ego. And literally, what do they think? I am the doer. No, we are not doing anything. Krishna is doing everything. We are simply an instrument in the hands of Krishna. A humble person never wants any respect. And why do they not want any respect? Because they know, I'm not the doer. I didn't do anything to warrant this kind of respect. How can I seek respect? Because I'm not the doer. Have you ever been in a situation like that where the person doing the announcement gets it wrong and starts glorifying you for something you didn't do? At that moment, we just like, yeah, carry on. No, it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to sit there and just hear yourself being glorified for something you didn't do. And especially when you know the person who did do it is right there in front of you. How can you sit there quiet and just say, yes, no, you will know, you will protest. No, this is the person. Because the person factually knows, I didn't do it. So in the heart of a humble person, to not seek honor or recognition, it just comes so naturally. because they know I'm not the doer. Krishna's doing everything. But we have this ego. It's very, I often tell the story of a man who wanted to find a parking space because he was getting late for an interview. And as the clock was ticking, it was getting close, and he was praying, God, I need a parking space, I need a parking space. And then, lo and behold, he turned the corner and there it was, a parking space, and he looked up at God and said, don't worry, I found one. Yes, because we always think it's me, I'm doing it. No, no. In one moment, Krishna can take away everything in a flash. Yet we always slip into this mentality, I am the doer. Therefore, and actually when we know we're not the doer, and when we know Krishna is the doer, then actually life becomes so effortless. Because when you know you're not the doer, in success, you'll never become proud. When you know Krishna is the doer in success, you'll become even more humble. In failure, when you know that you're not the doer, in failure you'll never become depressed. But rather you will know Krishna has a bigger plan around the corner, and therefore you will remain enthusiastic. When there's a challenge in your life, if you think you're the doer, you'll become overwhelmed and nervous. But when there's a challenge in your life and you know Krishna is the doer, Yatra Yogeshvara Krishna, wherever there is Krishna, there will always be victory. You have confidence. And in your spiritual life, when you're thinking, I'm so far away, if you think you're the doer, then you'll be depressed because you'll think, I'm never going to make it. But when you know Krishna is the doer, even in our life when we are feeling very, very short of the ideal, we know, hey Gopi, Janavallabha, Krishna can do anything. He can even transform my own contaminated heart. And therefore, to know that one is not the doer, this is very, very beautiful. And this is the first quality of someone who has a humble heart. The second quality of someone who has a humble heart is they realize, I don't deserve. The whole world is in victim mentality because we always think it should be better for me. I did so much for Krishna. I did so much in my life. Why is he not reciprocating? But in the heart of a humble person, their gratitude for what Krishna has done in their life is so high that their expectation of what Krishna should now give me is so low. When your gratitude is high, your expectation is low. But when gratitude is very shallow, then expectation is very, very high. In our life, factually, yes, there are problems. But when we look at how many blessings we received in our life, we come in front of Krishna and we say, Krishna, I don't deserve it. Did you know that in your life you have opportunities and there's someone out there who is praying for the opportunities that you have? Do you know that in your life you have strengths and abilities that maybe you don't even recognize that someone out there is praying for? Did you know in your life that you've achieved a certain position that out there someone else is praying for? Did you know that perhaps 10 years ago you would have done anything to be in the position you are in now? But the amazing thing is, when we're in that position, we're always looking at Krishna and saying, more. More? How much have you ever received already? So therefore, a devotee, a humble devotee, realizes, I don't deserve anything of what I've received. And this attracts the Lord. Because then it means they go to the Lord with no demand. You see, Krishna says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante. As they surrender unto me and ask me for things, I reward them accordingly. But if you want to confuse Krishna, then go to Krishna and don't ask for anything. Because Krishna's like, yeah, what do you want? What do you want? No, don't want anything, Krishna. You already given me so much. No, ask, I will give. No, I don't want anything, Krishna. It's perfect the way it is. Krishna says, but I have to give you something. But you're not asking for anything. So then what does Krishna give? He gives his very self. For Krishna to give you a thing is easy. For Krishna to rectify a situation, easy thing. For Krishna to give you some kind of ability or opportunity, easy thing. But when you come to Krishna and you say, I don't want you to change anything, I don't want you to fix anything, I don't want you to give me anything, then Krishna gives you himself. And that is how the humble devotee conquers Krishna, because they come in front of Krishna with no sense of entitlement. And the third quality of someone who's actually a humble devotee is that when they realize, I am not the doer and I don't deserve, then their whole life becomes the mentality of, I am a das. In every situation, that devotee is thinking, how can I serve Krishna? And here, Prataparudra, he's just coming from such a high position. And it wasn't a plan. It wasn't like a strategy that I'm going to do this humble service and Mahaprabhu is going to see me. Just out of his heart, he took the humble position and he started sweeping, not knowing what would come of it. But because his heart was pervaded by the mood of service, he did that. And Mahaprabhu's attention was attracted. So this is amazing. Actually, this goes on even at Bhaktivedanta Mana. We have millionaires who just turn up to the kitchen and wash pots. We have people who are CEOs of companies who just come and park cars on the geogrid and get sworn at. Sometimes. We have people who are incredibly influential, incredibly popular, celebrities, and you may just sometimes find them in some corner doing some service that nobody knows about. Once remember, I came back. Normally I would never go out for programs on Sunday because we would have Sunday program here, but on this particular Sunday I went out for a program and I came back very late. So I was walking up to the Brahmacharya ashram at 1 a.m. in the morning, and I heard someone moving around. So I went to the pantry. I think it's still a pantry, yeah. I went to the pantry and there was one devotee there on his knees cleaning the floor. So I said, what are you doing? And as soon as I saw him, he was very embarrassed. He said, no. I was like, what are you doing here? He said, no, I'm cleaning. I said, yeah, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. And then, finally, I got it out of him that what he had done was for the past 6 years, every single Sunday, when everyone else had left the manor, he would stay back, and in the middle of the night, when everyone else was asleep, he would start cleaning the whole temple, and before Mangalarati, he would leave so nobody saw him. And I thought, wow, that's amazing. Because to serve when there's an audience is one thing, but to serve when nobody is looking, that's amazing. You know, when Krishna was 3 months, then he turned around on his back. So this is like a major milestone in a baby's development. So Mother Yashoda had a huge festival in Vrindavan and she invited everyone. And it's interesting that Krishna was lying on his back and everyone came to bring presents. And as soon as they entered into the house, Krishna closed his eyes and went to sleep. And there's one commentator, Hari Sauri, and he asked the question, why did Krishna close his eyes? That's not very nice. When people come to your home, hospitality means Atiti Devo Bhava. You should receive them nicely with joy. You don't go to sleep. And Hari Sauri, he mentions that the reason that Krishna closed his eyes is because he wanted to see who is coming to give the gift out of their heart. Who will give the gift with all of that devotion, even if they know I'm not looking, even if I don't immediately acknowledge it? Who will still give that level of devotion even without any glorification or any kind of recognition? Krishna wanted to see who is that person. And so the devotees have such a deep service attitude. And it's this attitude of service. I am a das in all situations. It's incredible. We have devotees here who over the whole of the Janmashtami festival, they just clean toilets for the whole festival. That's amazing. There are devotees who just wash pots for the whole of the Janmashtami festival. No need for any recognition, no need for any glorification, no need for any leadership position. No, I am a das. And if this is what needs to be done, then I do it. And that spirit attracts Krishna. And then there are some devotees who have to take the leadership. There are some devotees who have to be in the front. And there are some devotees who probably would much rather just kind of hide away somewhere. But their humility is to say, I will do it. I will do it for Krishna. Because if the devotees tell me to chop vegetables, I'll do it. And if the devotees tell me to take responsibility, I'll do it. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. The real thing is I'm a das. And whichever way the devotees want me to serve, I'm ready to serve. And so, this is real humility. We can write it on our wall when we wake up and ask ourselves, please pray to Krishna. Let me conduct my day reminding myself, I am not the doer. Let me remind myself every single day, I don't deserve. And let me remind myself every single day, I am a das. And with that kind of humble heart, the Lord's heart is softened. And when the Lord's heart is softened, He can't do anything. He has to give His very self. And therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's heart was softened by Prachaparudra. And here, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is telling Prachaparudra, don't worry. You've softened the Lord's heart. You're going to receive His darshan. And indeed, as the Rath Yatra ends, then there in the garden of the Gundicha temple, Prachaparudra indeed gets the darshan of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and fulfills his long cherished desire. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki. Hare Krishna. So it's 9 o'clock on the dot, and I know we have a busy day ahead of different programs. So do we take questions or do we have to end here? I'm just looking for some guidance. We have to end? We can take a question? Okay, so if anyone has any questions or comments or anything you'd like to raise, then we have a few minutes if anyone wants to. Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for a very nice class. You were explaining that when things go well, that we don't think we're the doer, and we acknowledge that we've been empowered by Guru and Krishna. And when things go wrong, what's the understanding? You know? Is it my fault, or is it that Krishna and Guru got it wrong? How do we understand that carefully?
The first thing is that often our conception that things have gone wrong is wrong in itself. The Dalai Lama once said, sometimes not getting what you want can be an incredible stroke of good luck. We think it's going wrong, we think it's all falling apart, we think that Krishna's obviously not understanding the full situation here, but Krishna in the background is a master chess player. He's 10 steps ahead of everyone else. And therefore he's moving our life, he's moving the emotions of the world in such a way that it brings about a much, much greater result than we could have ever imagined. And therefore, tattenu kampam shushamikshamano bhunjana evatma kritam vipakam. The surrendered devotee is ready to fully accept whatever plans Krishna may send and never feel themselves a victim, never feel depressed, never feel hopeless, because they know Krishna is there, He's the controller, and He's my best friend. So if it's moving in a certain direction, then definitely I may not be able to see it, but it's there like that for a reason. And therefore, the devotee, whether it's success or failure, when it's success, they realize it's all Krishna's mercy, and when it's failure, they realize it's just one step to a bigger success. And in that way, they never see anything's going wrong. The moment you can put your hand up and say, Krishna, my life is absolutely perfect just the way it is, I wouldn't change one thing. The moment you can put your hand up and say, Krishna, I don't want to change one thing, that moment you can understand you're Krishna conscious. That's what it is.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you. I just wonder, how does the ideal of thinking, I am not the doer, fit into the concept of the three doers from the Bhagavad Gita?
Yeah, so through Srila Prabhupada's books you'll find different statements. Sometimes it will be said that we are the doer, sometimes that we're not the doer. So Krishna explains there are three doers: the soul, material nature, and the super soul. For example, we wanted to build this Haveli. So in a meeting room somewhere there was a desire, let's build a Haveli. So that's like the soul desiring. And then out there's Heart Smear Council who had to give the planning permission. So that's like the super soul. And then we had Lad Construction. It was Lad Construction, right? Vascroft, sorry. Vascroft then came here and built the Haveli. So who built the Haveli? Someone could say it was all of those people in the meeting room who made the decision. But then someone could say, no, it was Heart Smear Council because they signed it off. And someone could say, no, we were working here for 2 years on the ground building it. We built it. So the point is, in one sense, everyone has a role. We are the doer in the sense that our desire, our effort, our endeavor has an effect. But we're not the doer in the sense that there are factors beyond our control which are conspiring to create the outcome. And therefore, you'll find both statements, that we are the doer, we have the volition and the ability to endeavor, but we're not in control of everything. And therefore, in what sense are we doing anything? We are moved by higher wills of providence. Does that make sense? All right, yeah, someone just has to tell me when to stop. 3 more minutes? Okay. Whoever gets it.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for the very enlightening class. I have a question regarding how to make a complete surrender to Krishna, because we have, at every moment in life, we have a choice. And how do I know that I'm choosing what Krishna wants me to choose to become His instrument and not from my whimsical mind?
Usually the good choices are Krishna's ones and the terrible ones are our ones. Guru Sadhu Shastra Vakya Chitete Koriya Aikya. Narottam says that we can understand the will of the Lord through Guru Sadhu Shastra. So the first thing is, if you understand scripture, if you understand how Krishna is telling you to lead your life, if you're understanding the principles that Krishna lays down, which if you honor, your life will go in a good direction, already just from understanding Shastra, you'll get so many guidance, so much guidance. But then sadhu, there are spiritual people, you can consult them, ask them. Every devotee will give you their opinion for free, no problem. That's free of charge. So you can take the guidance of the sadhus. And then yes, at one point in life there are gurus, there are individuals who we take more seriously. Individuals who we understand through their mouth, Krishna is communicating to me. To follow the word of God is hard, but to follow the will of a devotee is even harder. Because the word of God you can interpret according to your own mind. But the will of a devotee is too direct. Do this. No, what about like that? No, do this. Is there another option? No, do this. So therefore, when one finds someone like that in their life that can guide them, that can give them a vision for their life that's much greater than they could have come up with themselves. When someone has someone in their life who they have so much faith in that they're able to follow them unflinchingly, even when they have no idea where is this going, then in that wonderful connection with a spiritual teacher, one can open up worlds of unlimited possibility. And therefore, Guru Sadhu Shastra Vakya Chitete Koriya Aikya. Who is the wealthy devotee? The devotee who has knowledge of Shastra, the devotee who has friendship with the sadhus, and the devotee who has a spiritual teacher in their life who they have unflinching faith in. That combination will ensure you make the best decisions in the world. All right. So thank you so much everyone for being here, for coming to the morning program. You will now be rewarded with prasadam. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande.